Oh, there was a feedback loop got set up. Fun, fun, fun. Namanda, 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 namanda. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our February Shotsuki Hoyo monthly memorial and Dharma family service. One aspect of the Shotsuki services is many people are here in remembrance of loved ones who've passed away in this month, whether it's last year or many years ago. But this service is also open to anyone, so thank you for attending. I'd like to now read the list of Shotsuki names. Hiroji Aochi, Shiro Aochi, Arata Akahoshi, Nobuta Akahoshi, Misai Cronin, Fusa Doi, Kiku Fuji, Arata Fujikawa, Masako Fujikawa, Kuni Fujimoto, Yoshiko Fujishima, Junko Jun Fujita, Fudekichi Fukuda, Itaro Harada, Seki Harada, Toshiyuki Jack Harada, Masatoshi Hashimoto, Yoshiko Hashimoto, Akino Hemmi, Satoru Hirai, Fumiko Hiramatsu, Mary Hiramoto, Koyoshi Idehara, Hatsu Igaki, Hisashi Ikeda, Charles Ishizu, Harvey Clay Johnson, Suejiro Kanada, George Kanagaki, Naoichi Kaneshige, Keijiro Kataoka, Masuko Kataoka, Sakai Kataoka, Wes Kawabata, Tad Kawamura, Shuzo Kawaoka, Jin Kido, Rikizo Kido, Sagao Kido, Toshiharu Kimura, Jinpachi Kitagaki, Mieko Kitagaki, Kimi Michelle Clevin, Yutaka Kobori, Jane Koizumi, Thomas Koizumi, Kotaro Komoda, Taka Kono, Tsutai Lachika, Kashichi Matsui, Nobuko Matsui, Saburo Matsui, Shigeru Matsumoto, Toku Matsutani, Lin Mifune, Jisaku Minamoto, Tokyo Minamoto, Yukiko Mitsueda, Hatsu Miyamoto, Fujitaro Miyauchi, Shigeko Mizuki, Sam Mizusaki, Sakai Mori, Yukio Mori, Hisa Murakawa, James Murashima, Trangak Mai, Shizue Nakai, Fred Nakamura, Kei Nakamura, Masayoshi Nakamura, Rudie Nakamura, Shozo Nakamura, Toki Nakamura, Tei Nakao, Harry Nakaya, Tase Nakayama, Judy Narasaki, Shoji Narasaki, Hisa Natsuhara, Jinpachi Nishimura, Shosuke Nobori, Yae Nobori, Hisai Noda, Amy Noma, Hatsuko Nomura, James Susumu Nomura, Nadine Ohara, Mitsuo Okashima, Fumiko Okawachi, Kazuichi Oseto, Edith Oto, Makoto Otsuka, Jane Jolander Phillips, Nihachiro Sakaki, Faith Sasaki, Toyohiko Sata, Mitsu Shigaya, Mio Shigemoto, Yoshiharu Shimada, Taizan Shimizu, Hatsumi Shohara, Keiko Soda, George Soga, Frank Takahashi, Hina Takahashi, Tsuruko Takahashi, Raymond Tamori, Yana Tanaka, Tani Family, Jitsuo Tani, Itsuzo Taniguchi, Mitsugi Taniguchi, Edward Tanita, Matsu Terada, Tora Toji, Sakitaro Toyofuku, Same Toyofuku, George Tsuboi, Shizu Tsuboi, Tamotsu Tsuchida, Teruki Tsuchida, Hikotaro Tsuda, Ei Tsujimoto, Fumiya Umemoto, Sachiko Umemoto, Mark Umetani, Kenji Urushibata, Ura Urushibata, Kazuhiko Ueno, Hana Wada, Joe Wakayama, Nobuo Watanabe, Harold Wong, Marie Wong, Kajiko Yamasaki, Kimi Yamashita, Kaheiji Yokomizo, Eiichi Yoshida, Kamehisa Yoshida, Kino Yoshida, Ruby Yoshida, Hikoichi Yoshioka, Kiichi Yoshioka, Kisaku Yoshioka, Nao Yoshioka, Danjiro Yoshisato, Kimie Yoshiura, Craig Matthew Young, Chosaburo Yuto. Okay, next we'll have Sutra chanting. Today we will chant Sanbutsuge. In the small book, it's on page 22, and in the large book, it's on page 79. Namanda, 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 namanda. Kogen gigi ijin mugok nyozen myo muyotosha nichigatsumani shuko enyo kaishitsu onpei yunyaku jumok nyorai yogen chosemurin shogaku daion koru jippo kaimon shojin sanmai chie itoku muryo shushoke jintai zennen shobutsu hokai gujin jin no kugo gaitai mumyo yokunu sesonyomu nino shishi jintoku muryo kukun kodai chie jinmyo komyo iso shindo daisen ganga sabuts zai shoho kado shojin mi fugedatsu fusejoin kainin shojin nyoze sanmai chie ijo gosei tokubutsu fugyo shigam isai kuku isadayam keshi ubutsu yakusen okuman muryo daisho Shunya Goja Kunyo Isai Shito Shobutsu Funyo Gudo Kansho Fukyak Hinyo Goja Shobutsu Sekai Bufu Kake Mushu Setsudo Komyo Shisho Henshi Shokok Nyoze Shojin Ijin Nanyo Ryoga Sabutsu Kokudo Daiichi Goshu Kimyo Dojo Chozetsu Kokunyo Nayon Nimu Toso Gato Aimin Dodatsu Isai Jippo Daisho Shinetsu Shoujo Ito ga Koku Keraku Anon Kobutsu Shinmyo Zega Shinsho Hotsugan no Hi Rikisho Shoyok Jippo Seson Chiemuge Jonyo Shison Chiga Shinyo Keryo Shinshin Shoku Dokuchu Gagyo Shojin Ninju Fuke Namandamu 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 Ganni Shikudoku Byodo Seisai Dohoten Bodaishin Ojo An だまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめなまんだめな Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Okay, next let's recite the three treasures, which is on page 3 in the small purple book. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and be wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Okay, give me just a second here. Reasons. Nope, that's not it. Okay. So welcome again to our February Shotsuki monthly memorial and Dharma family service today. One thing that's happening, I'm running 2 computers, one of them for the first time, so we're making sure that everything's in sync, and it seems like things are working. But if you're here in the room earlier, it wasn't working exactly the way we would like, but I think we're on track. Today, the thing that's got me thinking is the BDK Saying a Day calendar from a couple of days ago. I think many of you might have it. If you don't, we have them in the hallway downstairs, and you can take it. BDK is Bukkyo Dendo Kyokai, and it's started by Eihan Numata. And he was a philanthropist who basically wanted to translate the sutras into English, right, so that we can have the sutras in English. And so one of the things that they do is they publish the teachings of Buddha, which is a book with kind of basic Buddhist teachings, but also the calendar. So the calendar is taken every day. You're supposed to flip it every day. And at the bottom, so it has 1 or 2. Oh, so we're back to 1. So if you have your calendar at home, you were at 31 and now you have to get back to 1. So each month is kind of the same thing again and again and again, right? But then you look at the bottom for what day of the week it is for the month. So one from the other day was Shinnyo no Tsuki. Shinnyo no Tsuki. And I forget what the English was, but the Japanese shin in this case means true. Nyo is in this case thusness or suchness. So true suchness, true thusness, the true nature of reality that Buddha awakened to. And then tsuki, you might know this one, moon. Right? So Shinnyo no Tsuki, the moon of true thusness or true suchness. And so I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty heavy, right? It doesn't look like much. It's just 4 characters, but the moon of true thusness, right? What does that mean? Does that mean when we look at the moon, we're enlightened? I don't think that's what it means, but it's this kind of illumination of true thusness, right? This truth. And so that's kind of, to back up from that, it got me kind of thinking about truth. How do we know truth? How can we know what's true and what isn't? And I think this is on, well, not all our minds, but many of our minds, right? How do we know what we're seeing or what we're being told is true? So one thing I remember hearing when I was in college, I took a psychology It was like Intro to Psychology. I can't remember the teacher's last name. It was Bernie something. And he was really popular. I remember going into the class, and it was like a giant auditorium that was basically full. He was like a really popular professor. Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts is where I went undergrad. And the thing I remember him saying, treat everything I say like I'm a used car salesman. Right? The professor is telling me this, telling us this. Treat everything I say like I'm a used car salesman. And I think pretty much everyone here is still of a generation of, what used car salesmen, their reputation, right? That you can't, they're going to tell you this car is great, it's no problems with it, and et cetera, et cetera. Now we have stuff like Carfax or different things when you can get the actual reports, right, of what happened to the car. Maybe it got rear-ended or something, and they don't tell you that when you're buying it. The salesman doesn't tell you that, right? But so this, treat everything I say like I'm a used car salesman. And I feel like I could say that too. Maybe I should say it more often. Don't believe it just because I'm telling you, right? I'm an expert, but that doesn't mean you should take everything I say and just believe it, right? You got to question. You got to think about it. There's something called common sense, which, does that even exist anymore? Did it ever exist? Right? Yesterday, we wanted to go to get some magazines for someone, and I thought, who sells magazines anymore? Oh, I know, Barnes & Noble. Right? Barnes & Noble still has a pretty impressive magazine section. Right? And so I thought, the only one nearby, though, is Emeryville Bay Street. And yesterday, if you're aware, if you live in the area, Tokyo Central just opened yesterday. We finally got a Japanese food store in the East Bay. Right, a big one, I mean. We have Tokyo Fish and Yaoya-san, but this is like a corporate one, right? So they got all kinds of stuff over on the peninsula, San Francisco, right? Nijiya, Mitsuwa, Tsuruki. They even have Tokyo Central over there. It used to be Marukai, right? So finally, we got it here. And it's right across the street from Barnes & Noble. So I thought, well, we're not going to go at 10 a.m. Let's go later. Let's try to go at 3. Maybe by then it won't be so crowded. So driving on 24, I come from, near the tunnel and drive 24, take the 580, 80 kind of as if you're going to San Francisco, but then keep going to the right, and then you're on 80, and then the traffic starts. All the time the traffic starts, but usually the right lane isn't backed up to there. Yesterday it was. And it took, my GPS is telling me 15 minutes from there to Bay Street. Just from there. You can see it. We're driving right past, and it's still going to take 15 minutes to get there, right? So we're going. I'm like, look and see. We'll see what it looks like. And there's like crowds of people in front of Tokyo Central and cars lined up everywhere. Oh, no, right? And so we go around, and finally, I'm not going to do what my GPS tells me. That's one thing. I knew if I do what GPS tells me, I'm in trouble, because it wanted me to go in and then go down that little street inside of the Bay Street thing. No way. I'm going to go out to the side. See, I'm smarter than my GPS. I'm going to go on the side, right? And then go the farthest parking entrance nearest IKEA, right? To be able to get in. So we go, and as I thought, that's all backed up. So we were able to kind of cut some of the traffic. People going left into that first entrance to the parking. Nope, I'm not dumb. I'm not going in there. And then you realize the one I wanted to go, it's backed right up to the traffic light, right? And I realized, you know what? The lot's probably full, right? And all these people are waiting for one car to leave and one car to go in and that kind of thing. I saw a police car, in front area and stuff. So it was a mob scene. So I was like, forget it. We just went to CVS in Piedmont, right? They had like 10 magazines. They don't have magazines anymore. Does anyone? And one of them, I wanted to get a word search, right? Where you just circle the words. $15. $15, right? So we got the cheap one for $8. Common sense, I should have known, right? I could have guessed that was going to happen. But no, I had to try. I had to see with my own eyes, right? That's not why I went. I didn't go to see it with my own eyes. I went to try and buy some magazines, right? And yet, I couldn't, I didn't, I should have maybe trusted my instinct and known there's no way we're going to get in there today, right? So, still thinking about truth, we're knee deep. We're even worse. We're like up to our eyeballs in information. right? Information. There's so much information out there, right? And that's one of the problems, because not all the information is correct. Not all the information is accurate. A lot of the information is maybe 80% correct. A lot of it's maybe 50% correct. Some of it is maybe 0% correct, right? How do you know? Well, fortunately, now we have AI, right? So artificial intelligence, just ask that, right? So there's something called ChatGPT that I'm kind of experimenting with, right? And so ChatGPT is artificial intelligence. And you can ask it a question, and it goes and looks at all the information on the internet in like, what, 2 seconds? Maybe 5? And then spits out an answer. It's amazing. Didn't Google do that? Like just like a search, right? A web search? But no, it does it even faster. You don't even have to go through and look at all these different things. It just spits out the answer to you. Right? So one of the things I've been asking it is about my music. So I record music, right? And I not only like playing, but recording. So I have like multi-track. So I have this band that I've been playing with, and I have a track for one of the guitars, a track for another guitar, my bass is one, and then the kick drum, and then an overhead on the drums. Not even stereo, just a single mono, because there's a couple drummers here. A single mono overhead mic, right? And then I take those, they're kind of separate, but the drums are in the guitar mics, and the guitars are in the drum mics, right? So it's not totally separate, but it's pretty good. So I can do this, and then I put EQ, I put some reverb, and put it on individual tracks. And so it's fun, it's a lot of fun, but it's really hard for me to get big picture of how it sounds. It sounds good to me, but if I played it for like a record industry executive, they'd be like, this is awful, probably, right? So I asked the AI, am I using too much reverb? You know, should I get this other reverb plugin? Reverb is like the echo kind of sound. Our hall has amazing reverb. The basement at the Jodo Shinshu Center has amazing reverb, right? But you can put it on your computer too, and it's digital. It makes this echo sound as if you're in the room, because the microphone's right on the amp, so you don't have any of the room sound, you just get the guitar. But then you put reverb on it, ooh, it sounds nice, it sounds all professional, right? So I asked it questions, and it gave a lot of really interesting answers, and I read through the answers, and at the end it said, really solid work. Gee, thank you. Wow, that's pretty high praise. Really solid work. Wow. So then I said, thank you very much. That really helps. I think I'm done with this one. On to the next. That's me, right? I think I'm done. I think it's good. And then this is what the AI said. That's the best sentence in this whole thread, smiley face. Seriously, knowing when you're done is a skill. And you just exercised it. You took this one far enough to solve the real problem, not so far that you sanded off the character, and then you stopped. That's exactly how good records survive their makers. Put it away, don't just check one more thing and let it be what it is. When you come back weeks later, you'll hear it as a listener, and I bet it'll hold up. Whenever you're ready, bring on the next one, headphone emoji, sparkle emoji. It's the computer talking to me. It's not a person. It's a computer. It's amazing, right? It's praising me. It's praising the mix, right? It's praising the work that I did. And one part of me is like, oh, good, cool. Thanks, ChatGPT. You're my buddy. You're awesome. You're not even my buddy. You're like, wow, this is great. But another part is like, wow, it's really kind of value-laden language, right? It's weird. It's actually creepy. If you can step out of that, right, and realize, wow, this is kind of creepy. Why is the computer talking to me like that? How does it know to talk to me like that? And actually, I talk to the computer about other things too. And when I talk about Buddhism, like I've given it, I said, please make a Dharma school lesson for Hoonko. And it said, oh, yeah, I can do that. Here's what you can do. And it spit out this amazing Dharma school lesson about Shinran Shonin. I don't think I even put Shinran in the prompt. I just said Hoonko, and it knows Hoonko is the memorial for Shinran Shonin, right? And it spits out this whole thing, and it says, let me know if I can do anything else. I can make this a PDF, or I can do this or that. Namo Amida Butsu, Gasho emoji. What? What? How does the computer know to say Namo Amida Butsu at the end? And it said Namo Amida Butsu, not Namu Amida Butsu. So it knew Nishi Honganji, right? So it kind of knew who I was, maybe? Or is a Nishi person programming it, right? Or feeding it information? And the Gasho emoji, like when it's... Emoji is... See, emoji is interesting too. That's like a... it's like an image character, right? But to me, it's also like emoticon, which is emotion, right? Those can be used to express emotion where words don't always work, right? So when you're typing an email, I may feel like it's warm, right? But if I don't put the emoji of a heart thing or a smiley face, the person reading it doesn't know that necessarily, right? The reader receives information so differently than the writer. Right? And so to me, it's weird that a computer is using emojis to me as part of its message. Right? So the other one, I asked it a question about stickers. So at Amoeba, if you ever go to record stores, they have like different color stickers for different things. So a new CD might be a white sticker. A used CD might be a yellow sticker. A remainder CD might be a white sticker with a blue stripe. They have codes at the record store so you know what kind of CD it is. So I thought, ChatGPT, you're so smart. What do the different color stickers mean at Amoeba? And it said, I don't know. But sometimes record stores do that. So I was like, well, okay, when I go to Amoeba next, I'll look and I'll see if I can figure out. And I said, would you please tell me? I'm really interested in this kind of thing. I'm like, what? Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it right away, and I'm like talking to it. And then it goes, by the way, what kind of music do you listen to? I like electronic music, rock music, and progressive rock music, and the Grateful Dead, and blah, 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 blah. And I ended up 20 minutes having a conversation with the computer. So one thing with this, if you're lonely, don't talk to it. Or have the critical thinking to be able to question it. Because it's amazing, it's frightening to me. I mean, I watch a lot of science fiction, so that's why I'm terrified. But, right, it's the interface. It's not only the information, so you have to be critical of any information the computer gives you. It's also the interface, how it talks to you. It's talking to you in very specific ways. It's talking to you in a way that you'll want to keep using it. It's talking to you in a way that it's learning. It listens to you. It listens to your language. It's even responding to me differently depending on what I'm talking to it about. I felt like the attitude with the music was very different than the attitude about the Shinran Shonin thing, right? The Hongo Dharma school lesson. So it's like adapting to you. Right? So if I was lonely, I would have kept talking to it. I'm fortunate. I'm not lonely. Well, maybe a little, but not in like I don't have friends. I don't interact with people. I'm kind of stuck, right? And that's maybe one aspect of Sangha that could save us, right? To be able to come to church even once a week and be with other people, living people, breathing people, right? And talk to people and just be around them, because the AI is just really, really insidious to me, in a way. I'll go that far. Right, the insidiousness of AI. Just wait till it's a face. Actually, someone's working, this weekend, they're having a conference down in LA, at LA Betsuin, about AI Shinran. So they want to take collected works of Shinran, and all of Shinran's writings, and put it into an AI thing, and then have an image of Shinran. So you can talk to Shinran and ask Shinran questions, and it'll respond based on Shinran's writings. And you're kind of like, I don't know if that's such a good idea. But one idea about it is that we want to do it, or this person wants to do it before someone else does, in order to keep control of the narrative, right? So that someone else could put in weird stuff and be like, oh no, Shinran said that, Because who's going to actually go to the book and check, right? After you get used to talking to AI Shinran, you're just going to be like, oh, thank you, AI Shinran, have conversations with it. So, to me, the attitude, if you're going to take what I say like a used car salesman, you have to take what the computer says like it's a used car salesman. You have to. Do not just accept what the computer tells you. I'll go even farther. Don't even just accept what the news tells you. Right? We listen to the news as if it's the truth. And I don't care what side you're on, it's not the truth. It's not the absolute truth. Right? It's always got a spin. We always receive information with a spin. So the information is being spun at you, and then you receive it based on your background and your ideology and your values, and spin it in another way. So that, to me, is part of a Buddhist response. Critical of what I hear, critical of what I see, and trying to see the truth. Not just accepting it as it is, but take critical thinking and thinking about it critically. There's a sutta called the Kalama Sutta. Sutta is the Pali for sutra, so we could call it Kalama Sutra. And I guess one of the nicknames for it is the Charter of Free Inquiry. And so Buddha goes to this town, and the Kalama clan, the people there, they're wondering, we see people like you wandering, this is 2,500 years ago in India, right? So there's all these people wandering around saying, I've got the truth, I've got the truth, you have to do this, right? We got Jainism is one version of the truth, we got Buddhism is another version of the truth. Hinduism isn't just one, none of those are one version, there's actually multiple versions. And Hinduism has all different kinds of versions. So they're like, who should we trust? Which teacher has the true truth? They're all telling us it's true. So this isn't a new issue. This issue of trying to determine what's true and what isn't new. It's been happening for at least 2,500 years. And Shakyamuni is really interesting. He says, don't believe it just because it's an oral history. Don't believe it just because it's tradition. Don't believe it just because it's a rumor that you heard. Don't believe it because a scripture says so. Don't believe it because of common sense. Don't believe it because of one's own opinions. Don't believe it because of experts. And don't believe it because of the authority of one's own teacher. Wow, that's pretty critical, right? Buddha saying this. So instead, Buddha says that you receive the information, put it into practice, examine it, and then, if you find it true, you got it. So it has to be through experience, not through just trusting someone else. And this is about spiritual teachings. Okay? So, to me, it's fascinating, right, that Buddha is talking in a way about this issue. Now, Buddha isn't saying it's not a kind of radical skepticism where absolutely nothing is true. Buddha is said to have awakened to the truth. And this truth includes wisdom and compassion, right? The wisdom of seeing things as they truly are, which is Buddha is said to have seen, awakened to, and compassion, right? That it also includes kindness to all living beings. Another aspect of Buddha's teachings are the three poisons. So if it's a teaching encouraging desire and greed, probably not true. If it's a teaching encouraging anger and hatred, probably not true. If it's a teaching encouraging ignorance, probably not true. Okay? That these three poisons are one way we can, because you can't analyze with no criteria. Right? And so one set of criteria we get in Buddhism is the three poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance. Right? And so that if you find that greed and desire is being encouraged, it's really questionable. The red light, the alarm should be going off. If hatred and anger is being encouraged as the main thing, especially, alarm bells should be going off, right? And ignorance especially, right? That's and ignorance. You can think you know all kinds of stuff, but you're just being fed all this information, right? Biased information, and so we really need to look at all of these things critically. Oh, it's also day one of Black History Month. Right? And so, as I get older and older, realizing how much of United States, our history benefits from what African Americans, black people have done in this country. As a musician, some of my favorite music, right, is R&B, old R&B, not so much 80s, 90s R&B, blues, right? Rock and roll grew out of the blues, right? And blues goes way back, right? Jazz. I'm more of a rock person than a jazz person, and yet I really appreciate jazz. They're not necessarily separate, right? So much, and that's only one small part, right? So much of the culture and history of our nation is due to the efforts of black people, right? And if you consider slavery and how much actually a lot of economic stuff too, that's something that we really, really need to acknowledge. And that's where I want to try and see things as they are. When you hear that, like, 442nd webpage gets removed from official government websites, it's like, why is information being suppressed, right? It's not only information we get, it's information we're not allowed to get, right? And so that's another really important part of the history, and the ability to be critical. I really want to pick up American Sutra again, right, by Duncan Buchanan Williams, right? This amazing book. We knew about the internment of Japanese and Japanese Americans during World War II, but this book goes deeper, and you realize, whoa, a lot of that was against Buddhists, right? The Buddhist Japanese were treated differently than Christian Japanese, right? And so the Buddhist Japanese were targeted, right? We're treated differently, we're discriminated against during the internment, during World War II, and that kind of information. We need to be able to have that. Is the information going to be suppressed, or can we have that information? And then maybe it won't be suppressed, but it'll just be lost in the deluge of information, right? Too much information. And so also it's part of us to go out, right, and seek information from, I would say, a variety of sources, not just one. Part of the history of our church and part of the history of Japanese people in this country is our Shotsuki and our Shotsuki book, right? And the names that I read at the beginning, right? Many of those people have died recently, but many died decades ago, right? And you see those names, and I think a lot of you know more than me about some of those people and what they went through, the difficulties, right? It wasn't easy to be Japanese in this country. Right? And it was difficult, I think, after the war too, and things have changed a lot, and they continue to change. And so if you're here for the Shotsuki service, right, to think about those people from your life. Maybe when you go out, some of you I haven't seen in a while, so it's nice knowing that you're here for a Shotsuki, right, here to think about someone, a loved one that's passed away, and so holding them in your heart and with your mind, and thinking about them maybe in this context of truth. We don't want their stories to disappear. Okay? Even reading someone's name once a year, right? Some people, the names I read, there's no family left. Right? No one says their name. No one thinks about them. So that's another thing that I really like about the Shotsuki service, is this opportunity to say their name and have their name be heard by others. Okay, so I want to conclude with Kansho for our February Shotsuki Hoyo, and after that maybe we'll sing Ondokusan II. But why don't we conclude with Kansho? Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Or are there any announcements while you're on your way over there? We have a lot going on in the schedule. Check the website and the Bushin calendar. We will have service next Sunday, and it's going to be Dharma School, Dharma Family Service. And this week, the parts of the Naijin that were sent back to Japan are coming back. And we're going to do our best to get it all reassembled within a few days. And so when you come back next Sunday, it should be all sparkling back to its original kind of form. And then we're going to have our annual general meeting after that on next Sunday, and then our New Year's party. The week after that, there's not going to be service here. Part of the reason, many of us are going to Seattle area for BCA National Council meeting. And so there will be a service, but it's going to be online. And the temple won't be open, so you can watch we'll send the links out later, and you can watch the service online. Part of what's happening is our HVAC project has started. And so they're going to be cutting some holes in the ceiling, apparently, and we're hoping they'll do it while we're gone so we won't miss any services. And so it's kind of good that we're having this kind of week off from in-person services. What you got, Keiju? It's on. Yeah.
It's on. Thank you, Sensei. Just wanted to invite everyone to next Sunday is our annual general meeting. All Sangha members are welcome to attend. It'll be held here in the Hondo. So that will be right after the service, which starts at 10 o'clock. And then you're all invited to stick around after the meeting, our annual New Year's party. So we had plans to have a big screen up, but the Niners didn't make it. So, but in any case, we'll get done in time for you to catch the game. So I'll turn. Steve has an announcement too.
Good morning, everyone. Steve Terasaki. I just wanted to remind you that next Saturday, all day, starting at 9:30, we have a series of virtual workshops sponsored by the BCA. And so the morning sessions are my session about, I have a President's Leadership session, and it's going to talk about the issue of who's a member at our temples. It's followed by a town hall with Bishop Harada moderating a host of participants who have found Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. They're going to talk about how they came to find Jodo Shinshu and also the value that it brings into their lives. And starting at 1 o'clock that afternoon, there's a series of 4 different tracks, each with 3 sessions. So the first session's at 1, 2:15, and 4 o'clock or something like that. And it's around what we're doing to support ministers. That's the first track. The second track is around education, Buddhist education. The third track is around how at the BCA we're dealing with financial capability. And the fourth track is really around talking about our future as a Jodo Shinshu organization in America. So the links for that should be available, and we encourage all of you to attend. They're going to be very interesting and compelling discussions. They will be recorded because there's a lot of them. So you can pick and choose which ones you want to actually be there virtually next Saturday, and you can always listen to the ones later. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let's do Ondokusan II, which is on page 220 in the big purple book. It's also on page 76 in the small one if you want to use that instead. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nam. Okay, thank you. This will conclude our February Shotsuki monthly memorial and Dharma family service. You can come up and oshoko if you have not had the chance to do so already. Thank you. Bye.